Hey everyone, this is Pranav here, and I will be conducting today's session. So I hope you guys are able to hear me.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
So about myself, I have around 12 plus of year of experience where I worked in a various companies starting as a trainer. So I was a full-time trainer, uh, and then I worked in a Cisco organization as a Cisco TAC engineer for around 5 years. And then I worked in an enterprise firm as a in a Goldman to manage the entire network. And now currently I'm into the cloud data center building. So I'm building a data center cloud. So mostly for Oracle. So I'm working for Oracle data center team where we are building the data centers, right? So this course, what we are going to cover up, we will give you all the idea about what is networking, what all certifications we have in Cisco, and how we can proceed or how we can learn the expert level of certifications. I am also a CCIE certified. I did my certification long back when I was in Cisco. So I'm in CCIE service provider certified, and uh, we will walk you through what we are going to cover throughout the curriculum of Cisco. Okay. So that's the whole idea of today's session. So we're going to cover up, going to give you the kind of starting to end what all our topics will be and how we can cover all those topics and what are the benefits you will get while applying for a job. If we are only doing CCNA and what you will get if you are CCIE certified, right? Or CCNP, right? So any questions if you have before I start? Anything you want to highlight before we start this session for today? All right, so I would say think there's no questions. So let me share my screen. And feel free if you have any questions, we can clear that there itself, okay? So we are going to start with CCNA, right? So there are multiple hierarchical path which you can choose compared to old how it was before. So let me walk you through that. So we're going to talk about CCNA, which is Cisco Certified Network Associate. Now in Cisco, we have a multiple path which you can choose. Okay. Hey, Mudassir, can you mute yourself if you have no questions? Or let me mute. Okay. So the first path to start Cisco certifications is CCNA. Now, earlier there was a multiple flavor in CCNA, like you had option of doing routing, switching, security, data centers, all different flavor. Now it is merged into one. So now we have only single CCNA here. Now, once you complete CCNA, then the next level will be CCNP, which is Cisco Certified Network Professionals, and then there will be another level of which is CCIE, Cisco Certified Internetwork Expert, right? CCIE. That's the highest level of certifications. We do have CCDE nowadays, design expert and things like that, right? So the main focus, what we are going to do at this moment is about routing, switching, and we're also going to include in the new certifications wireless, security, and automation. All right. But still, I mean, though it is a new certification from Cisco, but these are newly added: wireless, security, automation, and we do have a bit about the data centers. So that's what Cisco did. It combined everything into one, right? So, but the major part of your certification is still around routing and switching, right? That's all the major topic in CCNA. Now, when going to CCNP, we have multiple different stream which you can which you can start, right? So starting now, earlier it was routing and switching. Now it is renamed. Entire thing is renamed with the enterprise. Like how the requirement in industry right now, right? So as per the industry requirement, they have changed it and renamed it as a enterprise, right? So enterprise will have a lot of things which you're going to learn, right? So this will be the official certifications guide. Let me, okay. What I wanted to show you is this. Okay, so this is from Cisco, right? What they want you to know in CCNA, right? This is official curriculum, which will be around, as per Cisco, it is 40 hours of curriculum, which we have to cover. But trust me, it will take more than that. It will take at least 45 hours to 50 hours to complete, right? Because this is an ideal case where they planned it is a 40-hour course, where in CCNA it's around 120 hours, sorry, 120-minute exam, where it there'll be different sort of questions which they're going to ask you, right? So that we'll talk later about the questions and things like that. So as of now, let's say cover about what we are going to talk in the entire curriculum. Okay. So you may see multiple topics here, right? But what Cisco did, they have arranged it in their own way, right? How they realize that, okay, the course would be, but when we cover in your day-to-day classes, it will be covered in our convenience or understanding perspective, right? So it may not be in the same order. We may have to cover this into different orders, right? But that's not a problem. The whole idea is your topics should get covered what is in your curriculum, right? That's the whole idea. So now if you see here, there's a weightage as well. So it's a 20%. It's about network fundamentals, right? So it says explain about the roles and network components. So this is all about the different devices, what we are going to use in your CCNA lab. Not all of them, but it's like you should know about it. Okay. Then this is important if you give me a nowadays interview as well. So you will be asked on these for sure. Right? So this is a like if you see nowadays this cloud deployment, right? AWS, then Google, then Oracle, then Microsoft, multiple vendor, multiple players are in data center deployment, right? So they have a cloud deployment. Many vendors, many companies now offering a data center for your cloud, right? So all this cloud deployment is mainly dealing or using this design. Okay, let me change the color here. So design of spinal leaf. This is a major design which is used by any cloud provider. And there's a reason, of course, why they're using it. And then, so this is a common questions where they ask you to explain about spine leaf design, how it is different than the traditional design of two-tier, three-tier design. what is off on premises in the cloud, right? So these all is important, small topics, but very important for you to understand, right? So this all we're going to discuss in your CCNA, right? Then we're also going to talk about the cablings, right? So of course, when you say network devices, we have to connect them as well, right? So we need multiple sort of cables which is needed. So we will be talking about the connectors, cable, like fiber, copper, all those types of cable media, right? Then we do have a way to identify the cables. I mean, in a sense of interface, is it an fast Ethernet? It is an gig Ethernet. Is there any issues on the interface or link, whatever you can think of as of now? No, you may not able to understand all the terms, but we're giving you overview what we are going to cover in your course. So when we cover about all this topic, it will be in more detail, and then you will understand and correlate the things, right? So this is a major topic which we are going to cover. It's just a two line, but it will take 3-4 days to cover it, right? So IPv4 addressing, subnetting, and private IP addresses. So this is very, very important when you say networking. And for networking, this is a core part where IP is important, right? So IP is needed everywhere in your network. So we have to understand IP in detail, subnetting in detail, how this IP plays important role, and how it can impact your network while it is not correctly configured, right? So it's very, very important. So we'll give more of maybe 4 to 5 days of time. We'll practice a lot of questions here. We'll see how we can solve it, which is related to IP address and subnetting. So you will get the good idea, good hands-on on IP part, right? Any questions till here so far? All right. The next, another section which you're going to learn is about the IP version 6. The reason all this new deployment of data center, right? Because this in, along with IP version 4, we are also deploying IP version 6. This is the future of IP. So basically, we're expecting everything will eventually move to IP version 6. So now whatever new data center we are deploying it, we will be using IP version 6 as a default. If you are in India, so this the entire Geo setup, right? The Geo India setup has IP version 4 and IP version 6 configured. So that's the reason they are saying we are future ready. So it is so not only in India, across the globe, right? So countries are restricting to use of IP version 4 and more of their encouraging companies to adopt IP version 6. Right, so we will talk about that, not in a complete detail. Of course, when you go for next certification like CCNP or CCIE, you will see more of IP version 6. As of now in CCNA, we have introductions, and we are going to learn about the basics of IP version 6. Okay. Now, we'll also see, you might be knowing it already, right? So how to check IP address on Windows, Mac, OS, Linux, right? So there's another point which is mentioned here, that to verify. Next is about wireless, how this Wi-Fi things works, what is SSID, what is overlapping Wi-Fi channels, and all those things will be covered. Next, we also have something about server virtualizations, container, VRF is also will covered in the curriculum. Then we do have some topic of switching. This is part of a switching, so they have misplaced it to the wrong place. right? So, but we have it, we'll cover accordingly as per our understanding. Okay. The next and bigger topic is, you can see 20% weightage in your exam, network access, which will be covering more and more about your switching. So it's a layer 2 device. It's a layer 2 device. We will talk about it. As I said, you at this moment, you may not understand the terms which I'm using. That's absolutely fine. We are going to start the class, right, from next week. So you will able to understand every terms what we are using at this moment. Okay. So this is all about your switching. I'm not going to say every topic here, but this entire thing is a switching, right? Layer 2. Then here we do have few topics of wireless. This is a wireless, and then we do have how we can do telnet, SSH, HTTP, HTTPS console, and all those things, right? So we're going to cover that. Then we do have again how to use GUI of your wireless. So you might have access point at your home, which I'm not sure if you're done it, but you can access it over GUI, and then you can make the change. You can make the changes in your configuration of access point. So that's also possible. That also we'll see here, right? So next is about IP connectivity. Again, this is a higher weightage. You can see it's a 25%, right? So, has any question? This everything it comes under routing, which is layer 3, right? So in entire CCNA, the routing has a more weightage. 25% will be covered by routing itself, right? So we're going to spend a lot of time in routing. It will take a lot of time, at least. I would say for me, at least 10 to 12 hours it will take in routing itself, right? So out of 40. Then we have IP services. So that's another topic where we'll cover about NAT, NTP, DHCP, DNS, right? There are a few other topics as well, which may not, I mean, we will see if we can cover it, but that's not very important for your curriculum for now. But we will try to cover it up. There are very small, I mean, there are very very much topics which has a small theoretical approach, because they just want us to explain about it. No labs, nothing, just in theoretical way, what is use of, for example, SNMP and all those things. So we'll see. We will try to cover it up as well, but this is not a major topic, I would say. Okay. Then about the security fundamentals. So is the 15% weightage, which you're going to cover about vulnerability mitigation technique. Then we do have a security program elements, and how to secure your data centers, right? Then we do have how to define the password of your device, and all those things will comes under security fundamentals. Then right, so then next and last topic which you're going to cover is about automation and programmability. So in this again is just in theory. So we are not going to write any code or any program in this level. It's just about theoretical knowledge about automation, how it is better than the normal traditional networking, how it can help, what all options we have. So we are going to learn about those topics in automation and programmability sections. Right? No coding. We're not going to code it. So don't get confused that we're going to learn Python or something. No, it's just about a coding. Okay. Any questions in terms of the content of your CCNA? All right.
I'm sorry, so I do have a question.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
S- Uh-huh. So once we complete the CCNA, I believe with some practice and studying, I should be confident enough to take up the certification exam, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
So our goal here is to cover up the theoretical aspect, lab, and also in between whatever interview question comes, wherever it is important for you, I will let you know that, okay, this is the topic where what sort of questions will be arised, how you can answer, and what all questions they ask in exam. So there's always difference when you say exam and preparing for interview, or you're going to work in production network, right? Exam is more on the theoretical part, right? So they will pick up more on the one-liner thing or like that. But when going for interview, it is different approach. When you're working in organizations or in production network, has a little bit difference compared to what you learn. The way you learn is different. The way you think in going to the production network, right? You have a lot of pressures, like, okay, you're doing on the actual real devices. So you have to think in a different way when you're working on production network. Because in lab, when you do, you have like, okay, it's a lab, right? So you can do the mistakes and it's okay. You can reload the device or you can wipe the devices. But in production, you have a different pressure altogether when you go to the real devices and do the any kind of changes or control it. There are a lot of different experience you will get, right? So that's we're also going to talk about everything. Don't worry about it. So this is about the certifications which I was talking about, right? So we have a different flavor of certifications, as I mentioned before. So we have a CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE. Now, CCNP, earlier it was routing and switching. You can see here, this is the old certifications, this is the new certifications, where it is renamed as an enterprise, right? So when you say enterprise, that means now the company realized that the things are changing, right? So now the enterprise have a different set of solutions which they use in their form. So now in enterprise, they clubbed routing switching, then we have a SD-WAN, then we have a DNA centers, then we have automations, right? So you're going to learn a bit of automation in enterprise. So CCNA is just going to cover up theory. In enterprise, you're going to do actually a little bit of automation in enterprise certifications, right? When we do have a collaboration, then we do have a data center, security, and service provider, right? So it's up to you what you're going to choose. Are you going to continue with the enterprise? You're going to continue with the security, service provider, data centers, and the collaboration. Just to give you a heads up what it is, right? So in the case of service provider, you are going to learn about ISP networks technology. Like it will be more on BGP, L3 VPN, MPLS, right? And traffic engineering. So these are the key topics of service provider, right? When it comes to security, it will be different. Now, as name suggests, you might be getting it what it is. So it's all about how you secure your network, right? So you are going to learn about firewall, IPS, IDS, right? Then you're going to learn about DMVPN. So all this technology will be covered in security. In enterprise, You're going to learn about, of course, routing and switching, SD-WAN, DNA, and other things. Data center, you're going to learn about Nexus switches, because that's what Cisco designed, this Nexus switches mainly for data center, but doesn't mean that this is restricted to use only for data center, but this is what it is. So Cisco designed this for data center. Then we're going to more on how we can design fabric designs. Fabric in the sense that how like spine leaf can be designed. We're also going to talk about uh, switching in this. So like we learn about routing switching here. Here we are focusing more on the switching because that's what we use in more in data centers, right? Along with, of course, it doesn't mean that we don't need to learn routing. Routing will be everywhere. So it doesn't mean that routing we are going to do only in enterprise. So what you will learn routing because it's a key component in network, right? So it will be used in data center, it will be used in security, it will be used in service provider. Now, in terms of collaboration, what you're going to learn, it's all about setting up the IP phones and the related technology, right? So it's up to you, your interest, which certification you want to explore. You can opt for that and continue. We do have similar thing in CCIE as well, right? Now, in terms of examinations, right, you also have to understand where you can write these exams. So for almost all the companies, right, who offers the certifications, we have only one vendor mostly, Pearson VUE. That's a center where all the companies are tied up with, and you have to enroll for the certification first. You choose your center nearby, and you can write the exams. So CCNA and CCNP, these two exams will be done at Pearson VUE. Any nearest center you can opt for, and you can write the exams. CCIE is different. CCIE has two part. One they call as a theory or written, and one will be lab. So theory again will be at the Pearson itself. So one part of your CCIE will be at the Pearson Center itself. The lab part will be at Cisco Center, right? So you have to again select Cisco. If you're writing in India, we have only two Cisco centers, one in Bangalore and one in Delhi. Apart from that, you can select other countries wherever it is available, right? So wherever seats slots are available, so slots are limited, right? So it's not like you can write just in 1 week. So you have to select your slot. It's mostly booked. A lot of students across the globe, they're attempting CCI lab, right? So the CCI lab exam, just to give you an idea, is around 8-hour exams. So it's an 8-hour exam, single exam. So you will get into the Cisco campus, and then in the same day, 8 hours, you have to do the complete lab, and then probably by evening or next day you'll get your result. Okay, so it's quite a big lab, big exams you can think of. 8 hours is a quite long time, right? So now when it comes to CCNA. So now it will be 120 minutes exam, CCNA, and that you're going to write in Pearson. So here the number of questions are not fixed, but the varieties or types of questions are fixed. There will be lab. Again, this is simulation. In a sense, that will be embedded in your question itself, right? So there will be lab, there'll be multiple choice question, MCQ, there'll be single choice question, and there'll be drag and drop. So these all varieties of questions will be there. So lab, multiple choice question, single choice question, and drag and drop. So because of these combinations, they don't have fixed number of questions, right? So eventually it will be a 1000 marks. And the passing is more than 80%. So to pass this CCN exam, you have to score more than 80%. Right? So it will be 2 hours. Roughly you will get 45 to 55 questions. In between it may vary, maybe 45, maybe 50, maybe 51, 52. It depends for you what is the combinations, right? So it is not hard-coded number of questions, but mostly you'll get 3 lab, okay? 3 lab, where 1 lab is of 150 marks. So out of 1000, so 3 lab you will get, that means you will get 450 marks straight from your lab itself. Okay. And then rest, it will come from MCQ, single choice, drag and drop. Any questions you have till here? Okay. Okay. You have one question from me. Please tell me. Ajay, you have a question? You have a question? Can you want to ask one-to-one or? Okay, so about the versions, it's more or less, as I said, it's the same thing. There will be minor modifications in the curriculum, right? So it will be the same content what you see. If you can just, I mean, search it and find and compare it. So 1.0, 1.1, 2, it doesn't have major difference. It will be minor, and so we will be referring always the new one, and and we will cover the topics as per the new certifications, right? So there'll be hardly variations of 5%, right? So what is the end goal? What we are going to achieve here in CCNA once you learn it, right? So our end goal is to build a network where you have your switching networks, and you have your routing, and then you have an end host, right? So that will be the whole idea of the curriculum. Then this is what you're going to learn, right? So if I'll just draw it for you. So there'll be what you're going to learn and what you will be building after learning it. So there'll be route, right? So we'll have maximum of 4 router setup, right? And eventually what we are going to do, we are going to set up a network, and there'll be right, then there'll be, say, this is 1, this is 2, and this is, say, connecting to an IP phones. DHCP server. We have desktop users. Then we are planning, once we design it, then we are going to talk the plan and network. IP addresses, as I said, so we are going to also learn about that. So let's say here my network I have configured as, as I said, you may not understand at this moment, but this is what we are going to do in the certifications learning. Right, similarly, I'm going to continue network here. All right. Then we also in this, if you see what all things are involved overall. So we are involved here with, this is your switching, this is your routing, routers are involved. These are your end host, right? So we are going to learn about more into this section where it is connecting to the end host, switching networks, then end host like servers, DNS, DHCP server, NTP servers, then how these devices are going to talk to each other. Right? How the message, let's say I'm typing here, I'm trying to communicate from this machine, this laptop, I'm typing hi, and I'm sending to this machine here. So how your message will move from your network all the way to the network, entire network, and reach to this machine. So this is what you will understand by end of the course, right? What all component involved into all in the setup, right? How you connect your network to the provider. Let's say, for example, we do have our network connecting to the ISP. How that will happen, where if we have ISP, then we have something called as a network address translation, where that can be what is the role of network address translation if the user wants to talk to internet. Let's say here there is a Facebook server. Right? So how this, let's say for example, user here, this user, let me change the color for you. And this user here wants to open facebook.com. So how this packet will move again from your host and then all the way going to a router, and then our router will forward to that destination, right? So this will be the whole idea or whole curriculum what you're going to learn. Now what I want from you is more on the practice, because that's what I find difficulties where there are multiple reasons. You guys maybe are working, not able to manage the time, right? So at times we don't do practice, we just complete the classes and we don't do the practice much. And trust me, whatever field it is, whatever course it is, if you don't do practice, you won't become perfect. So we require a lot of practice when you're learning anything first time. Anything is not about networking. Learning anything for the first time, you require a lot of practice, revision, then that will come as a default in your mind, right? So that is what I needed. I will need from your end to do a lot of practice, right? So how to practice, where to practice, that I will cover up in the coming classes when we start, right? So we have a lot of tools which you can use in your system itself and practice, right? So I'll show you how to install it, how to use it. You can also use like I said, there are a number of tools available which you can use depending upon your system configuration. But the whole idea is you have to practice, right? So any questions still here? Okay. Okay, I can see questions are coming up in the chat. So do we use Cisco Packet Tracer for CCNA? Yeah, we can use Cisco Packet Tracer, but Packet Tracer is a customized tool made by Cisco. That means it doesn't have all the features of operating system what you need for real world in production network to work. But yes, for CCNA exam perspective, definitely yes. But for real world, I won't suggest it. So there'll be certain scenario where I will be using packet tracer, but I will tell you why to use it and when to use it. But in general, when learning, I won't recommend to use packet tracer because of the limited availability of the command. Okay, then which okay. For training, we'll use GNS3 or we will use networking. I mean, we do have a lab, so I can use that. I can use GNS3, I can use packet tracer. So wherever what is best for you to learn, I will switch that. So I may use, you know, one of them. Okay. Okay, there are a lot of questions coming up. Let me just grab the questions first. Book session, yes, definitely. I mean, I would suggest once I complete this course, so either you can go with the same CCNA book, but I would suggest go with the higher versions of book. So if you learn CCNA in a well manner, like you did the practice, revision, everything, then I would suggest you can directly go with the CCIE book. If you want to invest in a book, go with the CCIE book. It may take a little bit more time, but there will be a lot of information for you to learn. So I would suggest uh, a CCIE book after learning CCNA. So you'll learn a lot of things there. So definitely I'll suggest your book. So okay, some question is like after CCNA, can I go with the cloud as your okay? So I mean, it's up to you where you want to be. There are different roles, right? So when you say cloud deployment, right? So cloud data center deployment, we don't need certification of cloud, to be very honest. But if you're planning to be a part of cloud support engineer, then you may need some certifications for a cloud, depending upon which you are targeting. But anyone, if you do, should be fine. But if you're targeting to go in the I mean, data center build or deployment, we don't need to get certifications of cloud. Okay. Cover two-tier and three-tier configuration lab. What is two-tier? Okay. Yes, yes, we will be covering that the lab. In case you want to do your own lab, I would say do it, because you see, once you learn the technology, right, you are not limited what we cover. You can have your own labs, configure it. If you're stuck, let me know. We can help you. Which tool is it? Okay, hot, I'm a desktop support engineer. So, okay, there's some question about current tool. Okay, so to trust me, what I'm going to start, as I said, it will take time for me. I'm like to cover 50 hours around, but it doesn't care, or I doesn't care what role you are into. So the what I covered is I'll make sure you understand that and you learn. So I don't need any kind of prerequisite from you. So it doesn't matter to me that you are currently into which role. Right? So it will be from scratch, right? So I'll cover everything in detail. Don't worry about it. So, okay, will we get the lab access for practice? That maybe Gaurav can answer that. Gaurav, you're on call still? You can check with them. Yeah, I mean, there is a lab which you can access. You can request, and they will give you lab access. That is absolutely fine. Will be topic we covered in all topic for CCNP. Yes, so CCNP will have more detailed, right? Again, because it's associate level. Let's say, for example, so it doesn't mean that you're going to learn same thing again CCNP. Wherever we left, CCNP will pick up from there. So there are a few topics which won't be covered in CCNP again. Okay, so for example, IP address and subnetting. It won't be covered in CCNP again. So it's only in CCNA, and that's it. Topic like access control list. It won't be covered again in CCNP. So what you're learning, that will be used in CCNP directly, right? So it's not like we're going to relearn the same thing again in CCNP. No, it will be the topic where you left. Few of the concepts will be used what you learn in CCNA and will be directly used in CCNP or CCIE. Not going to be repeated again. Okay. I hope I covered all the questions for you. Okay, what all routing protocols will cover in CCNA? So mostly what I do and what you have in your curriculum is now OSPF. Okay, so this is what I will cover in detail. We will give you about RIP, OSPF, and if time permits, basic of BGP. This is what I covered in CCNA. But officially you have only BGP, sorry, OSPF. Okay. All right. So that's it from my end for today to demonstrate what we are going to cover, what we can expect. Now, in terms of interviews, right? So I just said while I cover the topic, I always highlight that for this topic, what all interview questions can be asked, right? So you can either make a note there itself because it will be easier for you later. And I would recommend also to make your own notes, right? So because when you are in this Zoom session, right, not in the classroom thing, the second classroom, but it's online. So at times we lose the focus, right, on the class. So when you're rewatching the videos, I would recommend to make your own notes in your own language, because when you revise it for your interview or for CCNP, So when you see your own notes, right, and key points, you will recollect things faster rather than going through the entire video again. Right? Again, this is my suggestion, so it's up to you, right?
Sir, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So I
please go
was
ahead.
told that this course is for 6 months. Is that right?
Not CCNA. I mean, you might have enrolled for some bundle course along with the CCNA.
Yes, sir. So the one that I enroll is CCNA and
Mhm,
CCNP, and I
mhm.
think I'm not sure what that is, Poalto or Poalto.
Palo
I'm not
Alto.
sure how to pronounce. Uh-huh.
Mhm, Palo
So
Alto.
that one,
Mhm,
and on asking I was asked to ask you the question that since
mhm,
this would be a 6 months course, and considering we are going to be starting the classes this coming Monday, and I've enrolled for the weekdays.
mhm.
So if we are
Right.
starting 27th of July, and I was told by Ankush that the course would be ending on mid of December, I would like to understand how this is 6 months and.
See, to be very honest, the 2 months
Mm-hmm.
it will be take. I mean, in CCNA itself, right? So,
Okay.
uh, because a lot of things in CCNA which you have to understand and learn.
Mm-hmm.
CCNP, again, it will be a 2 months,
Okay.
and 2 months will be for your Palo Alto.
Oh, yes, sir. I understand that. But if you calculate 27th of July, like it's
Mhm,
almost the end of the month, right? And we
mhm,
have 4 months, like full in total, August, September, October, November. And
mhm.
December mid, I was advised the course would end.
So probably CCNP may be of 2 hours in a day. I'm not sure about the hour calculation because for
Okay.
me it is 1 hour in a day. So
Mm-hmm.
CCNP may be 2 hours because it will be 1 hour will not be sufficient in a day to for CCNP. There's so much of lab and things like that, right? So I don't think CCNP will be 1 hour. It should be 2 hours in a day.
So if it's going to be 2 hours per day, then it would be completed pretty soon, before 2 months.
Yes. So whatever I
Okay.
told is a 1 hour, considering 1 hour in a day.
Okay. So this course that I enrolled, 2 months for CCNA,
Mhm. Right,
1 month for CCNP,
right,
and 1 month for the other Pualto.
right.
But that doesn't make 6 months, right, sir?
See, I won't say
Uh-huh.
in a 6 month. I would say I'll calculate things as an hourly basis. I mean, I'm not sure about the month, but
Uh-huh.
this CCNA will take around 45 hours to 50 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at times I may extend class for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because depending upon the topic which I cover, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
always calculate based on the hours, not on the month, because we cannot think of months. So hours, if you have idea, then you can think of is it a 2 hours class, then how many days it requires or how many months it takes. So I would say get a clarification on the how many hours it needs for CCNP and how
Mm-hmm.
many hours it needs for Palo Alto. Then you can do your maths and understand when it will be finished.
Yes, please, sir. Because the problem is not the math. It's me. Since I've taken the bundle course, two
Mhm,
months for CCNA sounds reasonable,
mhm.
provided I put my effort from my end as well. That's for
Right.
sure. And with respect to CCNP, um, are you like just 1 month for CCNP? I don't know if if that would be
No, it
okay.
will be 60 hours maybe. I mean, as I said, I would say better to get things clarified with them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll have a better picture. For me, definitely I will take 45 hours to 50 hours. That will be 2 months.
Got it. So I did this question. I did ask the networking's person that I was talking to
Mhm.
with respect to the course, but they told me you can ask any questions that you have with the trainer. So that's the reason I
Yeah.
brought it up.
And that's absolutely fine. I mean, that's absolutely fine.
Uh-huh.
But this is from my side, from CCNA perspective, that's
Mm-hmm.
my calculations in terms of timing.
Got it, sir. All right, sir. And if you can also please put a word to Gaurav or any person from networkings to maybe get back to me with respect to this, that would be great. And from my side, I will also message them because I
Yeah,
didn't have clarity about this. And as per, you know, the way it was advertised, the 6 months course, I would like clarification on that.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
I will ask them to contact you and give the clarification.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks. Join late in the session today. Okay, Hitesh, right? So basically, okay, you joined late in this session, that's fine. So basically, I have 12 plus year of experience in different domains. So like I was into a full-time trainer, then I was part of Cisco Tech for around 5 years. Then I worked in a Goldman. You might have heard about it. It's a financial firm. So I was to manage the entire network end to end, starting from different sort of issues to the migration, change everything, which includes. Then I'm currently into Oracle and I'm into a data center deployment. So I build data center and then it goes to production, right? So I hope you got the answer what you need. All right. So that would be it from my end. As I said, for me, what when I'm teaching, I to get it most out of it, you have to put a lot of effort, right? So you cannot expect from any trainer, I mean, across the world, to cover 100% of from the trainer side, right? You have to put a lot of effort while you're learning, right? So you have to manage your time. If you're working, I would say still you have to manage your time. So you have to plan your day and at least give 1 hour extra apart from the class, revise it, make your notes. If you get time, read the books, right? So that's advice from my end to do it. And it required learning a lot of efforts because I remember when I did my CCIE, it was like morning 6 till night 10, which includes the office and everything together. So you have to put that much of effort when you're learning and planning or preparing for interview or for exams. All right. So I have answered all the questions, and this class will, I think, start from 3rd of August, right? Not from 27th. And like how if
Am I
you're,
audible, sir?
So it
yes,
starts from,
3rd of
Yes.
August.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, my question is that after completing all these certification courses like CCNA, CCNP, and firewall, Palo Alto,
Mhm.
so, sir, after completing CCNA, would I able to qualify global certificate CCNA?
Absolutely, yes. I think this question came already. So once you complete this course and definitely you're able to clear the certifications. So there's only one there's no global or local. It's a one certifications. So is once you plan to prepare for exams, it's only one certifications.
Actually, sir, when before purchasing this course, I
Mhm.
have asked to my mentor,
Mhm.
and he told me that there the networking will also will be providing a certificate after taking quizzes and question. But
Okay. You mean to
in
say the networking? Okay, so the
yes, sir,
training company, yeah, that is different. I mean,
yes, sir,
when you
yes, sir.
say CCNA, Cisco certification exams, it's always global. It's not so. It's always global. So that's the point. I mean, there's nothing like so. See, the rest certification is different. You have course completing certifications and
Yes,
other
sir.
things, but uh, when you say Cisco exams, that is different, altogether different.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
so one last question.
Yes.
In case because of work, perhaps I am unable to attend the live session with you,
Mhm.
and I go through the recording, and if perhaps I have any sort of doubts, how do I clarify this with you, please? Because
There will be a group, a WhatsApp group will be created, and that
uh-huh.
will be my number. So you can
Mm-hmm.
drop me a message, and you can call me on WhatsApp. So I will able to clear your doubts, or maybe
Per
we can discuss next day if that's the case. I mean, it depends. If it's small thing, definitely I can revert back on your WhatsApp itself. It's like required a lot of explanation. Then I would prefer next class, which I can address after the class. I mean, or before
mm-hmm.
the class, depending upon the time.
Got it, sir. Thank you. And one more thing, sir, just to
Mhm.
clarify, the class that you told starts from 3rd of August. Were you
Right.
talking about, I'm not sure the other programs that networking is doing, but the one that I've enrolled for CCNA, CCNP, and the thing,
Okay.
does that course as well start on 3rd of August or?
I have maybe I'm starting. I'm taking one more batch starting
Uh-huh.
next Monday. So maybe that is different. This is it. So I'm not sure.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
you may
Because
have different.
my mentor told me that it should start from this Monday. That's
Mhm.
what I had been told.
Okay. Not sure. I have to
So,
get the things clarified with, I mean, with networking. So that should be okay. I mean, that's if
uh-huh.
you are starting from this Monday, it's absolutely fine. Uh, it's absolutely fine. So what I have information is that I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to start from Monday, next Monday.
Okay. All right. So, if you can just please ask them to contact me with respect to this
Mhm.
clarification, that would be great. And I would reach out to them as well from my end.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
There will be class session tomorrow. No, there's no session tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we'll stop here. Okay. So, okay. Then when tomorrow is, see if for weekdays classes, right? Because tomorrow is Saturday. So there won't be any classes tomorrow. It will be on Monday, right? So it will be on Monday. Weekend is
Mm-hmm.
different. So Saturday, Sunday there will be different classes. Right. Share the contact number here. Share the contact number here. I mean, I think once you guys join the classes, I mean, weekdays or whatever batch, then networking, so they will only add me to the respective channel or group, and where you guys will be part of it. Okay, so don't worry that about that. So when we start the class, definitely you will get the numbers and everything. About the class, yes, the session will be recorded and you will able to see that recording session in your portal. That it may be tomorrow. When you saying when you will get this recording, it will be tomorrow. All right. Perfect. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. So we will be ending classes here, and we'll connect on Monday.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.